Are you a non-gyro player that has no idea on how to fix your sensitivity? I will teach you how to fix your hipfire and your scope sensitivity for zero recoil. Hey guys, so I have seen so many people asking how to adjust sensitivity for non-gyro players. So in this video, I will explain to you clearly how to fix your sensitivity for zero recoil with no gyro. Come to training grounds. Equip the following attachments. Always adjust sensitivity with attachments. Now let me start by turning off my gyroscope from settings. Let's start with trying out the best sensitivity for TPP no scope. First, you want to select a sensitivity that allows you to make a complete 360 easily and feels comfortable to move with. I will first try 185 and see how it feels. This feels all right. I can do 360 turns, but it feels a little too high for me. So I will reduce it to 161 and see how that feels. Now it feels much better. I can easily do a 360 movement, and it still feels comfortable overall. I recommend you use a value from 155 to 180. Now we will move on to ADS settings. Make sure this is always enabled. This is important for non-gyro players. For the ADS TPP, no scope sensitivity, what value shall we start with? There is a simple trick to get a decent value based on our previously selected camera sensitivity. Look at the value that you selected for the TPP, no scope camera sensitivity. Now add 100 to this. In my case, it gives 260. Set this as your ADS TPP no scope sensitivity. Now try this. The sensitivity is working fine. But pay close attention. It's hard to keep the aim locked in on the target while jiggling. No matter how much you adjust your sensitivity, this problem will be there to an extent. This is a common problem non-gyro players face. So I will suggest a solution for this, which will include a little bit of gyroscope. Hear me out. I want you to turn on your gyroscope sensitivity. Next, I want you to set all the gyroscope sensitivities for every scope to 0. This way it will be as if gyroscope is turned off. However, we will be making use of the gyroscope to help us control our hipfire accuracy efficiently. Just set the gyroscope camera and ADS gyroscope to any value from 160 to 200. I will try 200. These values are quite low and you won't need to tilt your device a lot. Now watch the difference in the hipfire accuracy. With that small change, the hipfire accuracy is much better. Now before moving on to scope sensitivity, make sure you have these two settings correctly set up. As a non-gyro user, always make sure your aim assist is turned on. You will need the extra boost to your aim. And disable horizontal swipe acceleration. Now let's focus on setting our scope sensitivities. First, let's focus on the red dot scope. As you can see by now, your gyroscope sensitivity for all scopes will be set to 0. We will not use gyroscope for scope sensitivity. Now let's start finding a suitable camera sensitivity for your red dot. We will start with 120 and work from there. Try switching your aim between these targets and see if it's easy to place your aim where you want it. Right now, this sensitivity feels a bit high for me, so I will reduce it to 100. As you can see, it's much easier to place my aim on the target now. I recommend you try this yourself and see what works. 95 to 115 would usually work best. Now let's focus on the ADS sensitivity for the red dot scope. I currently have it on 100. Let's test this out on close range targets, since the red dot is mostly important in close to mid-range fights. As you can see, it is not too bad, but the sensitivity is too low to pull the recoil down and control it. Let's increase it to 120. As you can see, now the sensitivity almost immediately got a lot better. This works for long-range targets as well. I can easily keep my aim stable when firing long-range targets. I want you to try this yourself and see what works for you. I recommend an ADS sensitivity from 120 to 160. Now let's move on to the 3x scope. I'm going to set my 3x camera sensitivity to 45 and see how it is. It actually feels all right. I can place my aim smoothly on the targets without any difficulty, but I will try out other options as well. I will set the camera sensitivity to 85. Now see how it feels. This feels too high and difficult. So I will lower it. I will go with a camera sensitivity of 50. Try any value from 40 to 60 and see what works for you. As you can see, 50 works perfectly. Now let's work on the ADS sensitivity for the 3x scope. Just take the camera sensitivity you selected before, minus by 10. This value is the perfect value for your 3x ADS sensitivity. Let's test it out. As you can see, the recoil is easier to control. Make sure you test the recoil on long-range targets, since the 3x scope is mostly used for mid-long range targets. Also, it helps if you can easily drag it out as shown, especially when trying to shoot down enemies in moving vehicles. Now we will move on to the 4x scope sensitivity. We will start with a camera sensitivity of 35. This sensitivity feels a bit low, but I will increase this to 45 and see how that feels. Now it seems to work much better. I can easily place my aim where I want. Even for mid-range targets, this seems suitable. I would recommend values from 35 to 65. Test what works best for you. Finally, for the 4x ADS sensitivity. All you have to do is take the selected 3x ADS sensitivity and minus it by 5. This will give you the perfect ADS sensitivity for your 4x scope. Let's test this out. As you can see, I can easily control my recoil with this sensitivity. Finally, we will look into the 6x scope. For this, we don't have to make any separate sensitivity, because when you normally use a 6x scope, you will adjust it to a 3x scope. When you do this, the sensitivity you applied for the 3x scope will take effect. So there isn't anything else you have to do here. Let's see the recoil. As you can see, it's easy to place the aim on the target. The recoil is also easy to control. Now you have successfully fixed your sensitivity. I hope this tutorial was useful for you. Now I will share my sensitivity for you guys. In case you are too lazy to do all this testing, I will show you my sensitivity code for you. Well then, what did you think about this tutorial? Was it useful? Let me know in the comments, because your feedback is most important. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will always be uploading content that will be useful or entertaining for you guys, so don't miss out on the fun. Do like the video so that this video gets the love it deserves. This is your chance to make suggestions for my next tutorial. Let me know in the comments.